Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll see here the ES. Number one, we still have a downtrending market. Lower highs, lower lows. For the most part here, the previous session, stop run day down, significant push through the previous lows here, midpoint right at those lows, and a continuation downward, very bearish. And then today here, we're starting the day with a lower low failure on the intraday time frame here with a failed new low look. However, we still remain in a downtrend. We still have a short-term downtrend, we have a medium-term downtrend, and right now price really needs to be able to close above the previous session's lows in order to try and get this thing to go higher and attack the 44.21s. Above 44.21, remember, opens up the upside of this range. But right now, a downtrend remains intact. As a matter of fact, the 60-minute time frames right now are about 4 minutes shy of developing another sell signal here, which could lead to selling pressure later in the morning. And right now, a failure to hold the previous session's low of 43.44 could open up new lows ahead. So we could be looking at more selling pressure ahead. And we still have the previous quarter's low down there to test as well. If we can come out here and take out that previous quarter's low, that could provide a stronger opportunity to reject and push this thing higher. So right now, can the bulls hold this thing above the previous session's low? If so, we may see some modest trading range action between 43.75 and 43.43, but again, any failure to hold that zone could open up much more weakness ahead. If you take a look at the NQ, very similar price action, lower highs here in this downtrending market, lower lows. Even in the very short term here, we've had lower highs and lower lows day over day. Stop run day down in the previous session here, and price rallying right to that midpoint and stopping right on a dime there. Again, that's going to be the level that really opens up the upside. 14,787s is that level. 14.8 to be a round number there. If price can push through that level, then we may see a return to 15K for a test. Again, above 15K is what will open up some of these upside prices here, but 15K became resistance over the last several days. So again, can price hold above that previous session's low, 14,670, 14,680 zone? If not, we could be looking at new lows ahead. While we did test the previous quarter's low here, it was not really a washout of that level. It would be nice to come out here, really wipe it out, and then perhaps reject and go. So right now, still in a downtrend in multiple time frames, the short term, the medium term here, and still holding below the previous session's low. Developing sell signal right now intact so far, and that could lead to weakness here later in the morning. Let's take a look here at crude oil. Now, crude oil has reached our target already. This was the target we identified last week here on this low. Very, very strong low as it developed that morning. We mentioned that strong low was very similar to this low or any of these lows back here. That led to then a 5 to 6 day rally. We quantified those 5 to 6 day rallies down here and knew that we were rallying about 5 to 7 points of range. So from that low, we mentioned 5 to 7 points higher, we could be looking at an 80 to 82 target, and we reached the 82 target yesterday. So a very quick move, but remember, this idea was based off of a 5 to 6 day rotation. It hit that target basically 2 days after that pivot low, and that's a very quick move. We're now inside day, narrow range at the moment, trading 46% of average, and kind of a digestive phase here. Overall, this market remains very bullish. The one thing we talked about last week was regards to the weekly time frame, and if price can close through that 80 by the end of the week, which it did not, but it did get very, very close. It closed 79.59 with a high of 80.11, and when you look at that, it opens up the potential here for a transition, right? You have that 76 level that we've talked about that comes across those highs and across these lows, and right here, that's the major breakout and transition phase that opens up all the way to 90 and then starts to open it up to about 110. So we could be looking at an easy continuation up ahead because there's clear air up above. So right now, significant breakout on the weekly time frame. While we could pull back a little bit here, any pullback towards 76 could still be a buying opportunity for a continuation across the range. So we'll see how this plays out. In the near term here, from a daily chart perspective, we've just gone 7 points in 3 days, which is one of the bigger range days. There could be some sideways digestive type of price action here ahead. As a matter of fact, if we quantify that right here with a 3-day range, you'll see this is the highest 3-day range we've had in a while. The last time we had a good 3-day range was here, and that's basically from this low to that high. And after that, it went sideways and flat for a little bit to kind of gather itself. So again, any pullback even as deep as 78 into this PIMA trigger zone continues to be bought until proven otherwise. So still very bullish, but we might be on the counter trend phase for a moment, or a range bound phase before we kind of make that next move up. All right, lastly, taking a look here at gold futures. Gold futures with the significant rejection in the previous 2 days ago, Friday, failed new high, a rejection off the previous month's midpoint, a hard drop here. We're starting to develop a little bit of a failed new high again today. Sharp reaction off the edges, 3-point reversal off those highs, very, very sharp. And again, you have all of these lows right here. Taking out 745, taking out 740, that's what's going to open up a pretty heavy drop ahead. It could look something like this, where you have multiple day lows here, and in one day, it just takes them all out. Is it going to be today? Is it going to be tomorrow? When will we see that move? Again, we could be looking at a stop run day ahead, but it could be a couple of days out, or it could be sooner than later. But a failure to hold 1740 could have us right back at 1720 very quickly, with a shot to see a continuation toward the next area of support down below in the 1675 to 1680 zone. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.